Hey everyone, I'm Liz Ferry and welcome back to my channel. This week's project is this cute little amigurumi fox. Some things you'll need for this tutorial are a crochet hook, I'm using a size E, a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, I'm going to use these bobby pins, a yarn needle, some pins. For the main body color, I'm going to use this orange yarn from Dollar Tree called Marmalade. For the face, tummy, and the tips of the tail, I used white from Red Heart Super Saver. And for the nose and toes, I'm going to use black yarn, also from Red Heart. You'll also need some fiber fill to stuff your doll. And I'm going to use some craft wire to make a skeleton for the doll to help it keep its shape. And I'll use these little 3mm yellow glass seed beads to make the eyes. You could also use safety eyes or embroider on the eyes with thread to make it safer if you're making it for a child. I used these seed beads to make the kitty's eyes in a recent video, and I love the way it turned out, so I'll be using these. To sew on the beads, I'm going to use a needle and some black thread, which I'll also use to make the whiskers. If you want to recreate this little fox on your own, you can find a written pattern for this project in my Ravelry store at the link in the description. If you saw my cat and my deer amigurumi tutorials, this project is sort of a combination of those, with the head being similar to the deer, and the body being similar to the cat. The color changes, the placement of the ears, and the tail are all very different, so I figured this project warranted its own video. So let's get started. First, I'll create a magic circle with 6 stitches of single crochet. If you want a more detailed explanation on how to create a magic circle, check out my magic circles tutorial. If you want to make this easier, you could just use one color for the face and embroider on the nose later, but I want to make the nose using a color change instead, so I'll start with my black yarn. First, I'll single crochet 3 times into my magic circle. On the 3rd stitch, I'll change colors to white. Pull up a loop into the magic circle, then instead of finishing the stitch, leave it open on the hook, and then finish the stitch with a loop of the new color, which is white. Now single crochet the remaining 3 stitches using white and close the magic circle. I'll orient the face of the doll as though the magic circle is the front of the doll's nose, with the beginning and end of the row counting as the left side of the doll's head, the middle of the row counting as the right side of the doll's head, the black stitches of the row counting as the top of the doll's head, and the white stitches counting as the bottom of the doll's head. Next, I'll single crochet for 2 rows to elongate the nose. In the first row of single crochet 6 using white, then change colors to orange. In the next row of single crochet 3 using orange, then change colors back to white. Single crochet 3 using white and change colors to orange. Now I'm going to begin to increase at the top of the head, 3 times per row for 3 rows. In row 1 of increase, I'll increase the first 3 stitches of the row using my orange yarn. To increase, I'll simply single crochet 2 times into the same stitch. And I'll do that for the next 2 stitches of the row. Then I'll change colors to white. And single crochet into the last 3 stitches using white, and on the last stitch of the row I'll change colors back to orange. In the next row of increase, I'll once again increase 3 times at the top of the head. I'll increase every second stitch until I've made 3 increases total. So single crochet 1, Then increase the next stitch, single crochet 1, increase the next stitch, then once more single crochet 1, and increase once more, and change colors to white after the second stitch of the increase. Single crochet 3 using white, and then change colors back to orange. In the next row of increase, I'll once again increase 3 times at the top of the head. I'll increase every third stitch this time until I have 3 increases. So single crochet 2, then increase the next stitch. Single crochet 2, increase the next stitch, then once more single crochet 2, and increase once more. Then single crochet 1 more and change colors to white. Single crochet 2, this time I won't change colors at the end of the row. So now I've finished increasing the top of the head. Next I'll increase at the sides of the head for 1 row to create the cheeks. Increase the first stitch with a white stitch and an orange stitch by single crocheting 1 using white into the first stitch, then change colors to orange, and single crochet 1 more using orange into the same stitch. Then increase the next 2 stitches. Single crochet 7, increase the next 3 stitches, then change colors to white. Single crochet 2 using white, and again don't change colors at the end of the row. Next I'll decrease 3 times at the top of the head for 1 row. So single crochet 1 using white and then change colors back to orange, single crochet 6, and then decrease 3. To decrease, I'll insert my hook through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, pull up a loop through both, and single crochet to decrease. Then I'll repeat that 2 more times. Pull up a loop through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, and single crochet to decrease. Then once more pull up a loop through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, and single crochet to decrease. Now I'm finished with 3 decreases at the top of the head. Now single crochet 8 more using orange. Again, don't change colors at the end of the row. In this next row, I need to make the ears. First, I'll single crochet 6 until I get to where the ears will go. Now I've finished with 6 single crochets and I've gotten to where the ears will go. I'm going to work the ears into the front loop of the next stitch only, leaving the back loop free to count as a stitch in the next row. Also, none of the stitches I'm about to make in the ear will count as a stitch in the next row. Only the back loop of the stitch will count in the next row, so just keep that in mind. Now into just the front loop of the next stitch, I'll create the ear. Double crochet 1, then change colors to black. Double crochet 1 more into the same front loop. Now to create the point of the ear, chain 3 and slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. Then I'll double crochet 1 more using black into the same front loop, but this time, instead of yarning over to make my double crochet, I'll pull up a loop through the side of the post of the double crochet stitch that I just made. This will eliminate any gap between the stitches caused by the chain 3 and the slip stitch. Then I'll change colors to orange. Double crochet one more into the same front loop. And that's the ear completed. Just to make sure I remember to skip all the stitches of the ear and work into the back loop of the ear in the next row, I'm going to mark all the stitches that I just made in the ear. I'll also mark the back loop that I left free behind the ear, and I'll do the same thing when I make the other ear. Next, I'll continue working into the stitches in between the ears. Into both loops of the stitch this time, I'll single crochet 3. Then into the front loop only of the next stitch, I'll repeat what I just did in the other front loop to make the next ear. Double crochet 1, then change colors to black. Double crochet 1 more in the same stitch. Then chain 3 and slip stitch into the third chain from the hook to create the tip of the ear. Then double crochet 1 more using black into the same front loop. Change colors to orange, and double crochet 1 more into the same front loop. And once again, I'll make note of each back loop that I left at the back of the ear, since they'll count as a stitch in the next row, and again, none of the stitches of the ear will count as a stitch in the next row. Now single crochet into the remaining 7 stitches of the row. Next, I'll single crochet for 1 row, skipping all the stitches of both ears, and single crocheting instead into the back loop I left behind each ear. So single crochet 6, skip all the stitches of the first ear, then single crochet into the back loop behind the first ear. Single crochet 3 into the stitches in between the ears. Then skip all the stitches of the other ear and single crochet into the back loop behind that ear. Then single crochet into the last 7 stitches of the row. Now I'll decrease the head for 2 rows, 6 times per row. In the first row of decrease, decrease every second stitch. So first I'll single crochet into the first stitch, then decrease the same way as before. I'll insert my hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, pull up a loop through both, and single crochet to decrease. Single crochet 1, then decrease 1 through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, then I'll repeat that throughout the row. Before creating my second row of decrease, I'll add fiber fill to the head. In the second row of decrease, I'll decrease every stitch. Now slip stitch to the first stitch to end the row. Cut off a long tail to sew the hole at the back of the head closed and to attach the head to the body later. If you want, before making the body, make a wire skeleton with a 2 1/4 inch neck, a 1 1/2 inch back, 2 2-inch arms, 2 2-inch legs, and a 5-inch tail to add to the body. This will help the doll maintain its shape. Make sure to create a wire loop at the end of each leg and at the end of the neck and the tail. If you want a more in-depth explanation for how I make wire skeletons for my dolls, check out my wire skeleton tutorial at the link in the description. I'm going to begin by creating a slip knot with my orange yarn. Then chain 6, and join in a ring with a slip stitch. This slip stitch will now count as the first single crochet stitch of the row. In this row, I want to increase every second stitch, so that I end up increasing 3 times throughout the row. So I'll increase the next stitch by single crocheting 2 times into that stitch. Then I'll continue to increase every second stitch until the end of the row. So single crochet 1, increase the next stitch, and change colors to white on the second stitch of the increase. Single crochet 1 using white, increase 1, and change colors back to orange on the last stitch. Now I'll single crochet for 2 more rows. Single crochet 6, change colors to white, single crochet 3 using white and then change colors back to orange, then I'll repeat that for 1 more row, only this time I won't change colors back to orange at the end of the row. So single crochet 6, change colors to white, single crochet 3 using white, and don't change colors at the end of the row. In the next row, I'll increase 3 times throughout the row, again to gradually widen the body. This time I'll increase every 3rd stitch, so single crochet 1 using white and change colors back to orange. Single crochet 1, increase 1, single crochet 2, increase 1, and change colors back to white on the 2nd stitch of the increase. Single crochet 2, increase 1, and again don't change colors at the end of the row. Next I'll single crochet for 2 more rows. Single crochet 1, change colors to orange, then single crochet 7, change colors to white, single crochet 4, and once again don't change colors at the end of the row. Then I'll repeat that for 1 more row. Single crochet 1, change colors to orange, single crochet 7, change colors to white, single crochet 4, and don't change colors at the end of the row. In the next row, once again, increase 3 times throughout the row. This time increase every 4th stitch. However, in this row, I'll add the wire skeleton. First, single crochet 1, then I'll take the wire skeleton and place the wire neck of the skeleton through the hole at the top of the body, where I'll sew the head on later. Then place the left arm skeleton over the next stitch and single crochet into the next stitch over the arm skeleton and change colors to orange. Single crochet 1 more, then into the next stitch increase. Single crochet 3, then increase the 4th stitch again, and change colors back to white. Now I'll place the right arm skeleton over the next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch over the arm skeleton, single crochet 2, then increase 1 and don't change colors at the end of the row. Now I'll work the remainder of the doll around the skeleton. Next, I'll single crochet for 2 more rows. Single crochet 2, change colors to orange, single crochet 8, change colors back to white, single crochet 5 using white, and don't change colors at the end of the row. Then I'll repeat that for one more row. Single crochet 2, change colors to orange, single crochet 8, change colors to white, single crochet 5, and don't change colors at the end of the row. Next, I'll increase 3 times throughout the row again. This time I'll increase every 5th stitch. Single crochet 3, change colors to orange, single crochet 1, increase 1, single crochet 4, increase 1, change colors back to white, single crochet 4, increase 1, and once again don't change colors at the end of the row. Now I'm done with gradually increasing the body. Now I want to create a little bump at the back of the body with a larger increase. This time at just the back of the body I'm going to increase 6 times. So single crochet 3, change colors to orange, single crochet 2, then increase 6 times. Single crochet 1 more, then change colors back to white. And then single crochet in the last 6 stitches of the row, again without changing colors at the end of the row. Now I'm going to single crochet for 1 row, but in this row I'll work around the wire skeleton legs. Single crochet 1, then place the left leg skeleton over the next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch over the leg skeleton. At the same time, I'll change colors to orange. Then I'll single crochet 17, and change colors back to white. Then single crochet 1 more until I get to where the next leg goes. Now I'll place the right leg skeleton over the next stitch, then single crochet into the next stitch over the leg skeleton. And then single crochet into the last 3 stitches of the row. Now I'm going to decrease 6 times throughout the row for 3 rows to end the body. In the first row of decrease, I'll decrease every 3rd stitch, and I'll work the row around the wire skeleton tail. So single crochet 1, and change colors to orange. Single crochet 1, then decrease 1, single crochet 2, decrease 1, and single crochet 2 until I get to where the tail should go. So I've decreased every 3rd stitch 2 times so far. Now I'll place the tail skeleton over the next stitch, and decrease into the front loops of the next 2 stitches over the tail skeleton. Then single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and decrease the next stitch. Single crochet 2, decrease 1, and single crochet 1 more, then change colors to white. Single crochet 1, decrease 1, and change colors to orange. At this point, I'm done with the white yarn for now, so I'll cut that off here. Then I'll finish the doll using just the orange yarn. Now I'll just decrease for 2 more rows. In the next row, decrease every 2nd stitch, Before I make the last row of decrease, I'll add some fiber fill to the body. And in the last row of decrease every stitch of the row. Slip stitch to the first stitch to end the row. Cut off a long tail to sew the hole at the back closed later. Next I'll make the legs. I started with a magic circle with 6 stitches of single crochet using my black yarn. Then I single crocheted for 4 more rows and changed colors to orange. Single crochet for 2 more rows using orange, and then slip stitch to the first stitch to end the row, and cut off a long tail to sew the leg to the body later. Now I just need to make 3 more legs. Next I'll make the tail. Begin by creating a magic circle with 6 stitches of single crochet using my white yarn. Then increase 3 times per row until the white tip of the tail reaches the right width. I'm going to increase for 2 rows. In the first row I'll increase every second stitch. Then in the second row of increase, I'll increase every third stitch. Now that I finished increasing, I'll single crochet for 2 more rows using white, then I'll change colors to my orange yarn. Now that I've finished 2 rows of single crochet, I'm going to single crochet for 1 row with 1 decrease in the row. So I'll pull up a loop through the front loops of 2 of the stitches in the row, then single crochet to decrease. Then I'll repeat that 4 more times. Single crochet for 2 rows, then do 1 more row with 1 decrease in the row. This is so that I can gradually narrow the tail. I'm going to keep repeating the process of single crocheting for 2 rows, then creating 1 row with just 1 decrease until I have just 7 stitches left in the row. And I'll make sure to change where I place the decrease in each row so that the tail is evenly decreased throughout and all the decreases don't just all end up on the same side. Then I'll slip stitch to the first stitch of the row to end the work, and cut off the yarn. Next, add a bit of fiber fill, and sew the tail to the body over the wire tail skeleton. After sewing on the tail, I attached the head to the body. I also sewed the head into shape a little bit, pulling in a space at the front to make a hollow for the eyes. You can see more on this technique in my doll face shaping tutorial, or in my cat amigurumi tutorial. Then I'll just finish sewing on all the legs. Also, if you like, you can sew through the wire loop at the end of each leg and at the top of the head and tail if you want to fasten the skeleton to the inside of the body to make sure it doesn't wander out of place. Finally, I'll add the eyes. You can use thread or embroidery floss to embroider on the eyes or use safety eyes. I'm going to sew on these seed beads though into the space that I just made for the eyes at the front of the face. Then I used some of my black yarn to fill in the area behind the eyes with a black circle of stitches. I also used a few stitches of my white yarn to clean up the shape of the nose a bit. Afterward, I used black thread to add whiskers to the sides of the face. Basically, I'm just going to sew through the inside of the head to fasten the stitches and leave the tail ends of the thread on the outside where I want the whiskers to go. Just make the whiskers long for now and trim them down to size later. You don't have to do this if you like, but I used my white yarn to embroider a few stitches at the front of each ear to make the inner ear. And now my fox doll is finished. I feel like I could easily make a dog or a wolf pattern with a few simple modifications. Let me know what you think of these fox dolls in the comments. As always, if you made a project using this or any of my designs, I'd love to see it. You can find my social media links in the description below, or tag me on Instagram @LizFairy. If you liked this video, you could press the like button or share it on social media, and if you'd really like to help out the channel, you can donate to my Patreon. You can get some cool perks from Patreon, like seeing my videos early and ad-free. You can find out more about that at patreon.com/fairyrings. So far on the channel, I've made a unicorn, a deer, a dragon, a cat, and now a fox, in the same style. What kind of animal should I try making next? Leave your suggestions in the comments, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notifications every time I post. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!